Gaurav, we will request you to pitch in. So now, पहला question मेरा आपसे ये है, चंदन जी. So earlier you worked with consulting firms. You were part of RSM, EY, and now you're part of Dabur for almost 10 years, if I'm correct. 15 years. Chandan is heading the Dabur tax, so he's the tax head of Dabur India. So Chandan bhai, क्या shift लगता है आपको? Working in a consulting from a chartered accountant perspective, we have a lot of young members sitting here. तो अगर कई बार क्वेश्चन होता है कि यार मैं इंडस्ट्री में जाऊं या कंसल्टिंग में जाऊं, तो आपका क्या एक्सपीरियंस है, स्पेशली इन द टैक्स फंक्शन, बीइंग यू हैव सीन बोथ द वर्ल्ड?
First of all, happy Ganesh Chaturthi to everyone. This question is very potent, and for a person who has passed CA exam, he's thinking, what should I do? I have no experience. A person who passes CA has practically no experience. He's just got a degree. So possibly he would not know मेरे को जिंदगी में करना क्या है, because CA offers a lot more things actually, which a person would not know at that point of time. And possibly he's seeking some guidance. If he gets some mentor, that's very good. The mentor can identify that skill and guide him, okay, you take this as a road. Sometimes, many of times, the mentor is not there. The person is left to learn by trial and error. Trial and error is a very costly way to grow. But even if a person, if he joins industry or if he joins some CA firm or he does his own actually, after 10 years of experience, he will know exactly where he is actually. उसको अपनी deficiency पता चल जाएगी, उसको अपना strength weakness पता चल जाती है. And then he can actually know that balance जो है, जो life की है. देखिए industry में what happens is that a person retires at the age of 60. It is assumed a person would become a CA, let's say at 25, so he has got 35 years work to do in industry. But people who are in consulting, who are in some sort of self-employment, they have no retirement age. So, but there is a huge difference. In industry, what happens is that आपको पूरा 360 degree आपको समझ में आने लग जाता है. Tax is just one small function. It's a very small function. हम कभी कभी टैक्स कैसे डिस्क्राइब करते हैं इंडस्ट्री में, इट्स अ टेल वैगिंग द डॉग. टैक्स इतना छोटा फंक्शन है, बट इट इज क्रिटिकल. द रीजन इट इज क्रिटिकल, एज वी नो, 25% प्रॉफिट गवर्नमेंट ले जाती है हर साल. तो इट मीन्स इट रिक्वायर्स अ ड्यू कंसिडरेशन. जब इतनी मोटी कॉस्ट है, तो आप कैसे इसको डिटरमाइन करते हो कि आपने फेयरली टैक्स डिटरमाइन किया. इंडस्ट्री में आपको advantage ये है कि the facts are very near to you. You can appreciate the fact as it is. Law बहुत बाद में आता है. पहले आप देख रहे हो कि commercially ये जो चीज़ आपके सामने है, it is prudent or not. ये can you digest that? Then the law comes. Law अपने आप में is a commercial law actually. Law कोई ad hoc तरीके से नहीं लिखा हुआ. So आप ये देखोगे कि जब आपने जो decision लिया है, normally वही law में भी वही लिखा हुआ है. Except the procedure part. Procedure is a little different. But to my mind, there is not much of difference whether you are in profession or you are in industry. अगर आप में लगन है, आप चीज़ों को बेहतरीन तरीके से समझते हैं, you have got that prudence in you. Prudence, I means financial prudence, because finance is a cost actually, so it's a financial prudence चाहिए आपको कोई भी decision को totality में लेने के लिए, and that is what the learning is.
Thank you, Pushpender bhai. You are in industry for last 19 years, since you qualified in 2005. So you worked with Honda and now you are working for PVR. So what difference, or how you will describe your journey from a fresher to someone who is heading the global tax function, and what, quickly, what you can suggest to our audience?
Thank you, Gaurav bhai, for having me, and good evening to each one of you. Thank you for staying back and motivating us, I would say. And Gaurav, you had a very good session, especially you concluded very practical aspect of it, like search and seizure with the reasoning, etc. That was really very good. Coming to me, like I qualified in 2005 and I started off with Honda motorcycle. As everyone does, we do articleship in CA firms. Many a time we get a good CA firm, whether it is mediocre or small. But my belief is that these are the places where you actually end up learning things. Big chartered accountant, big four firms generally don't involve you into very nitty and gritty. They keep you into the process, but they don't really involve you till the time you've been around for 3-4 years, etc. And they have their own reasons. But small and mediocre firms put you through the process. And those were the days when ledgers used to be reconciled. Meeting of trial balance, matching of trial balance used to be a accomplishment. Now it is given trial balance भी कभी mismatch होता है क्या? Those were the things. लाला जी की लाल किताब में एक एंट्री छूट गई, you have to find it out. By the end of the day, if you are able to do that, आपके लिए अलग से लस्सी आएगी, yes, लड़का ठीक है. So those were the kind of things and ingrained, learnings in your mind that you understand that how entries are emerged, how trial balance is prepared, books of accounts are maintained, and tax comes at the end. It's a function of income. Tax is a function of income, rightly mentioned by Chandan. So those are the days when you are euphoric about मैं tax करूँगा, कुछ और करूँगा, but it takes a while to actually identify what is my core interest. It is not clear on the day one when you qualify or when you go through the process. Tax is an area invariably every chartered accountant goes through in his articleship. Generally tax audit or some tax assessments. And it's an area which catches eye. It pinches our pocket, very dear to us. Anybody who talks about it, we pay attention to it. It's very much rewarding. But then at the same time, it is very much demanding. You have to be on top of it. It keeps you always on your toes. If we are making a statement to friend, family, public, or even in profession, better we not make incorrect statement. Better we make only correct statement because it's about the value and the image and the trust, which has to be earned. So I had a fancy for taxation. I started my journey with Honda motorcycles. Worked there for 2 years. Also worked with Dell for 3.5 years. There I additionally pick up service tax. Those were the days. You won't get indirect tax with you because indirect tax had different segments, excise, VAT, service tax. So besides income tax, I got service tax because IT companies used to have a lot of export and a lot of ITC of service tax input used to pile up. And one of the key asks in IT companies was, service tax का refund ला दो हमें, क्योंकि zero rated होता है. So income tax, transfer pricing तो था, सर्विस टैक्स आने के बाद लगा चलो पूरा टैक्स आ गया बारिंग एक्साइज बिकॉज दैट इज़ अगेन अ वेरी निश एंड स्पेशलाइज्ड फील्ड. लाइफ चलती रही. देन आई गॉट विद NIT टेक्नोलॉजीज एंड इट वाज आल्सो द टाइम व्हेन GST kicked in. Then it was complete taxation, right? And SEZ assessment, international tax aspect. Eventually, I realized we have seen a journey of 17 or 18 years. Currently, I have been in PVR, which is an entertainment, last 6 years. So during this time, you also tend to realize what Gaurav mentioned before, this session, that you should be focused about a particular thing to get more out of it. Otherwise, general is general. If you are focused about it, then you get a perspective out of it. And then it is your own perspective. That is an area I can connect with you, and which pushed me to write a book also on my experience, how transitioning of physical border tax laws is changing into digital environment. When borders have blurred, goods and services are moving across the globe without any border. So that's where, I was also amazed to see and find the reasoning, and eventually that book also saw light of the day. So that's how you evolve. That's how you evolve.
Okay. So now we are done with warm-up. So my feedback is you need to keep your answers slightly shorter,
Yeah, sure.
be precise, because we have a lot of questions and now we are coming to the main topic.
Okay. Noted.
Perspective on the assessment. So Chandan bhai, question to you. So when notices come, कोई notice आ गया department से, तो पहला thought दिमाग में क्या आता है कि यार किसी consultant को hire करना है. And you need to think from, because it's not only about the big corporates, we have a mid-sized corporates also. So when notices come to your email or to your portal, हमारे पास हमें तो बड़ा अच्छा लगा क्लाइंट का नोटिस आया, ठीक है, just. So what happens in the organization?
See, notice जो income tax से आता है, the first thing you see is that why this notice has come, means what is they are asking. आप कोई section देख सकते हो, पर उसकी requirement क्या है उस notice की? Is it वो मेरे से कुछ मांग रहा है तभी से notice भेजिए मेरे को? So either it's a assessment notice or it's a reassessment. दो चीज कर सकता है डिपार्टमेंट, assessment, reassessment. या 133(6) में इंफॉर्मेशन मांग लेगा, या आपको इन्वेस्टिगेशन वो विंग में आपको 131A का समन्स आ गया. So one has to see what's the nature of notice actually. And if you see, आप फिर देखते भाई ये चीज़ मैं खुद आंसर कर सकता हूँ, क्या मेरे में क्षमता है इस नोटिस को अटेंड करने की? अगर है तो आप खुद करना चाहोगे. That okay, I have got the details, I have got the wherewithal to answer, but let's say मेरे को नहीं पता इस नोटिस को कैसे आंसर करना है, या आई एम क्लूलेस एंड आई डू नॉट नो हाउ टू वर्क अराउंड दिस. देन यू आर लुकिंग फॉर योर फ्रेंड्स एक्चुअली हु हैज गॉट एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ डीलिंग विद दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ नोटिस. फ्रेंड्स से खोजोगे, यू नॉट नॉर्मली यू नॉट गो फॉर पीपल हु हैव गॉट एक्सपर्टीज बट आप जानते नहीं हो उनको. सो यू आर लुकिंग फॉर पीपल हु यू हैव रिलेशनशिप विद. सो रिलेशनशिप इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. तभी से कहते हैं इंडस्ट्री वाले से दोस्ती बना के रखनी चाहिए.
थैंक यू चंदन भाई. तो रिलेशनशिप है हमारा, है ना. पुष्पेंद्र, यू मस्ट हैव सीन द फेसलेस असेसमेंट. तो फेसलेस असेसमेंट में व्हाट इज योर एक्सपीरियंस? यू नो, फ्रॉम अ कंसल्टेंट पर्सपेक्टिव आई कैन टेल यू, नोटिस आएगा बहुत बड़ा सा, उसमें बहुत सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन मांगेंगे. तो मे बी you are responding yourself, or let's say you have a consultant to support you, but how you collate all that big information, and do you, from a taxpayer's perspective, don't you feel यार इतना सारा मांग के क्या होगा, हम क्या दे पाएंगे क्या नहीं दे पाएंगे? What is your take on it? Yeah, you feel one should give all the information?
No, so I think it's very relevant question. Faceless assessment is successful for small and mediocre firms, but firms which are big in size and complex in business activities, I don't think faceless has been able to do that justice in half an hour, especially when you seek video conferencing. They give you a slot. Initially, it was also not allowed. Now it is allowed. Half an hour में it is always one-side communication. वो आपको मौका देंगे and they will always be on the listening mode. हाँ जी, बता दीजिए आपको क्या बोलना है अपने बिजनेस में. And they can issue any notice and they can ask for any information under the sun. You are under an obligation to give answer to that. Provide at least the ledger copies and the details etc. and try to explain it to them. कितना उनको समझ में आ रहा है, कितना वो डाइजेस्ट कर पा रहे हैं, that is always a probability. For us, it was very successfully because उसने other expense के detail मांग लिए, which were running into 200-300 crore. Somebody can ask sir, other expenses के detail का कोई logic तो होगा, but he has asked. हमने सारे dump करे, हमने आधे घंटे का time मांगा, उसमें हमने अपनी बात करी. We were lucky that he was able to kind of satisfy himself, and we saw nil assessment under faceless. But generally, we have seen the flip side of it also. So I think सामने बैठ के नहीं समझा पा रहे थे आधे घंटे में, 15 दिनों में, ऐसे नहीं कर सकते. For complex, I think we should have more elaborated side where it should be a two-side communication to make it more fruitful. Cutting it like
What
so.
is your experience, Chandan bhai, on faceless assessment?
And
after this, Gaurav, I will come to you.
I have my full support for faceless actually. I have full support for faceless. Faceless बहुत अच्छी चीज़ है. आप सब CA प्रोफेशनल्स हो, आपका बिजनेस फेसलेस से इंक्रीज हो जाता है. अगर आप देखो ध्यान से, ओनली कॉन्टैक्ट चाहिए आपको, तो यहाँ बैठे हुए हो सकता है तमिलनाडु का केस ले लो. सो द थिंग इज दैट हाउ यू बिल्ड दैट स्किल सेट. अगर आप वो स्किल सेट बिल्ड कर लेते हो, जितनी फेसलेस हो, प्योर पर्सन मीन्स अ पर्सन हु इज गुड एट वर्क, फॉर अ फेसलेस इज लाइकली टू गेट मोर क्लाइंट्स. For simple reason, वो बंदा is honest, he's truthful, and he knows his work. These are the three key things. मैं जब किसी को देखता हूँ.
What is from a taxpayer perspective वाला industry वाला experience जानना है हमें कि faceless assessment में
faceless
what is your experience?
Faceless में सबसे बढ़िया चीज़ क्या है? They ask you a question which through a system which is a computer system. Faceless has its process. You answer that. So there is a transparency. In an earlier system जो face to face होती थी, वहाँ कोई transparency नहीं थी. order sheet पढ़ जाते थे. You never know what happens in that room. It was between the two persons. Now this is not between two persons. It's totally transparent. So what it means, अगर कोई addition करनी है, तो that person has to give it in writing. That look, this is why I want to add, or this is what I want to leave. If you have seen the faceless orders, now you will see that उसने अगर 50 क्वेश्चन पूछे तो 50 क्वेश्चन वो रेप्लिकेट करता ऑर्डर में और बोलता है yes or no. क्यों मैंने एक्सेप्ट किया, क्यों नहीं किया. At least in my experience, I have seen the orders like that. I have not seen cryptic orders. Return file on this date, questionnaire issued, and order assessed at nil. Faceless में ऐसा नहीं होता. So faceless में you are likely to get what they have asked and what you responded and why they made addition. So it's more scientific now. And that is the reason I say faceless is good.
Thank you. Gaurav bhai, a very quick question to you. Can you suggest us, from your experience, key attributes for a successful faceless assessment? Quickly.
I think very simple. As I said, the government already has a lot of data points. If you're getting a notice for scrutiny assessment, either you have a past litigation, for which the notice has come, because the procedure requires that adjustment to continue because that's not settled. If otherwise you're getting a scrutiny notice for the first time, then there must be some risk which is thrown on an IT system which is selecting your case for scrutiny. As for large companies, today if you see how they handle their tax compliances, the way the government is collecting data, today large companies also have tax platforms. Very proud to say that EY is the first firm to have one connected tax platform where all the tax compliances can happen on digitally. Which means what information has gone from GST, what information has gone for TP, what gone for corporate tax, what for TDS. You can actually see it on your screen. There's one source of truth. You extract data from ERP, you push this in the system and all the compliances, all the data links are there. Now similarly, the large companies are also now understanding this and developing their platforms and tax engines, where when they close the year in audit, they already tell their tax teams, please keep this information, reconciliations ready in case you get a scrutiny notice. So prior preparation, so Gaurav, I at least don't feel that you need to prepare information when the notice comes. If you are working with a chartered accountant who's looking at your books, who's saying this is a true and fair view of your books, and then you have a Form 3CD, and you have done your tax compliances, you must have the reconciliation on that day. There is no need for you to pull information out on the day you get notice or a week after that. And you know what are the adjustments, right? In corporate tax, the law is very clear. So in my view, better preparation, helping your client, have better hygiene, better process at the time of closing books is more important to handle any faceless assessment.
Okay, great. So we need to be prepared. We need
right when you close your books, you get your audit done, you already give to your auditor, these are the recos, these are the GLs. If there are adjustments, find it into the adjustment file, the return.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Problem is not in the big companies. In the SME enterprises, what happens, most of the accounts people within 1-2 years they leave.
Right, sir.
And in the second, third years, when they go there, new chap is there.
Right, sir.
So whatever you have taught the old person, you have to teach them everything new one.
Sir,
There is a problem with the SME enterprises.
sir, today for SME, I'm I feel very, very encouraged when these kind of questions are asked. Sir, today filing a TDS return is very cheap. Having a tally kind of system is very cheap. SOHO is also not expensive. What I'm saying is, if you tell the tax team who is going to leave in 1 year, or the accounting person, to maintain the digital data and the reconciliations, whether he stays, whether he goes, there'll be no impact on your client.
The thing is, who's going to do it? The account chap is going to do it. I recently went to doing the audit, and the GST was there were 25 accounts. GST. Some of the previous year opening balance, current year balances, previous year's opening balance coming in the current year. When the accounts were not reconciled, I took out the one sheet only of GST to the MDC. GST, tomorrow if the GST people comes here to ask for details, how is the possible that last year's tax payable is still outstanding? This is not possible.
Sir, if tax is outstanding and not paid, audit cannot be signed without.
So that's what
Qualification.
Old person, the new chap who came in, they don't know the accounts. They did not know the accounts, where to go do the entry. That's the problem.
So there we have to, maintain a professional balance. Tell that person, you second a person from your side.
SME enterprises, they don't pay you well. They want a cheap person. And cheap person don't know anything. Whatever जो भी आप ही होगा, यहाँ पे entry कर दो, यहाँ पे entry कर दो, काम खत्म करो.
Sir, I go to my doctor regularly. My doctor says that you are one of my best patients. I asked him why. He said, मैं आपको बोलता हूँ कि आपको स्मोकिंग नहीं करना चाहिए. मैं आपको बोलता हूँ शाम को लेट नहीं खाना चाहिए. आप खाते हो. मुझे पता है आप प्रॉब्लम बड़ी कर रहे हो. आप मेरे बेस्ट पेशेंट हो. क्योंकि कल जब आप बड़ी बीमारी लेके आओगे, मेरे बहुत पैसे बनेंगे.
First thing is they don't pay you well also.
No, sir. Sir,
I think let's come back to the topic, sir. वो मनी मेकिंग कभी बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे. So now faceless में important points I think which we can gather is if we can do a sanity check before the assessment comes, and we can see what are the weakness or strength in the accounts, and then advise our clients to get the documents prepared earlier. अपना काम है highlight करना. As rightly mentioned by Chandan bhai that you are more closer to the information when you are in industry. और वो अगर हम उनको बता देंगे यार तुम्हें ये चीज़ें maintain करनी है, we have heard them that yes, they are happy to maintain, they are happy to share the data, and the positive response was seen in the faceless. But personally I feel the quantum of information inquired is among us, and to pull the data, for example they are asking ledger, so how to pull the ledger from a ERP data in itself is a challenge.
See,
in developing their platforms and tax engines, where when they close the year in audit, they already tell their tax teams, please keep this information reconciliations ready in case you get a scrutiny notice. So prior preparation, so Gaurav, I at least don't feel that you need to prepare information when the notice comes. If you are working with a chartered accountant who's looking at your books, who's saying this is a true and fair view of your books, and then you have a Form 3CD, and you have done your tax compliances, you must have the reconciliation on that day. There is no need for you to pull information out on the day you get notice or a week after that. And you know what are the adjustments, right? In corporate tax, the law is very clear. So in my view, better preparation, helping your client, have better hygiene, better process at the time of closing books is more important to handle any faceless assessment.
Okay, great. So we need to be prepared. We need
Right when you close your books, you get your audit done, you already give to your auditor, these are the recos, these are the GLs. If there are adjustments, find it into the adjustment file, the return.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Problem is not in the big companies. In the SME enterprises, what happens, most of the accounts people within 1-2 years they leave.
Right, sir.
And in the second, third year, when we go there, new chap is there.
Right, sir.
So whatever you have taught the old person, you have to teach them everything new one.
Sir,
There is a problem with the SME enterprises.
so today for SME, I'm I feel very, very encouraged when these kind of questions are asked. So today filing a TDS return is very cheap. Having a tally kind of system is very cheap. SOHO is also not expensive. What I'm saying is, if you tell the tax team who is going to leave in 1 year, or the accounting person, to maintain the digital data and the reconciliations, whether he stays, whether he goes, there'll be no impact on your client.
The thing is, who's going to do it? The account chap is going to do it. I recently went to doing the audit, and the GST cost, there were 25 accounts, GST. Some of the previous year opening balance, current year balances, previous year's opening balance coming in the current year. When the accounts were not reconciled, I took out the one sheet only of GST to the MDC. GST, tomorrow if the GST people comes here to ask for details, how is the possible that last year's tax payable is still outstanding? This is not possible.
Sir, if tax is outstanding and not paid, audit cannot be signed without
So that's what I'm saying is
qualification.
the old person, the new chap who came in, they don't know the accounts. They did not know the accounts, where to go do the entry. That's the problem.
Sir, there we have to, maintain a professional balance. Tell that person, you second a person from your side.
SME enterprises, they don't pay you well.
Sir, I go to my doctor regularly. My doctor says that you are one of my best patients. I asked him why. He said, मैं आपको बोलता हूँ कि आपको स्मोकिंग नहीं करना चाहिए. मैं आपको बोलता हूँ शाम को लेट नहीं खाना चाहिए. आप खाते हो. मुझे पता है आप प्रॉब्लम बड़ी कर रहे हो. आप मेरे बेस्ट पेशेंट हो. क्योंकि कल जब आप बड़ी बीमारी लेके आओगे, मेरे बहुत पैसे बनेंगे. No, sir. Sir.
I think let's come back to the topic, sir. वो मनी मेकिंग कभी बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे. So now faceless में important points I think which we can gather is if we can do a sanity check before the assessment comes, and we can see what are the weakness or strength in the accounts, and then advise our clients to get the documents prepared earlier. अपना काम है highlight करना. As rightly mentioned by Chandan bhai that you are more closer to the information when you are in industry. और वो अगर हम उनको बता देंगे यार तुम्हें ये चीज़ें maintain करनी है, we have heard them that yes, they are happy to maintain, they are happy to share the data, and the positive response was seen in the faceless. But personally I feel the quantum of information inquired is among us, and to pull the data, for example they are asking ledger. So how to pull the ledger from a ERP data in itself is a challenge.
क्लाइंट क्या करता है, वो भगवान भरोसे चलता है.
नहीं वो सीए भरोसे चलता है भाई.
नहीं है इसका, इस सिचुएशन का कोई आंसर नहीं है. भगवान भरोसे इंडिया में बहुत बड़ा एक भरोसा है. तो ठीक है, जब आएगा देख लेंगे. वाली सिचुएशन भी है ना, चलता है. अरे सर नहीं होता, प्रैक्टिकली आपको भी पता नहीं होता. बस नहीं होता, आप समझ लो.
सर ये क्लाइंट सर आ जाते हैं असेसमेंट पे, आ जाते हैं सर. क्लाइंट असेसमेंट में नहीं, टैक्स असेसमेंट पे हम. हाँ. सो नाउ सर
That's what I said one side.
That he has. That is the biggest problem which we face in the faceless assessment. He will just, you keep on saying this is the details, this is the reason for the increase in expense or decrease in income, this is the reason for that thing. They will not analyze it, they will not ask any further questions. They'll just listen to you and complete the assessment. So this is not the proper system, I would say. This is the drawback in this system.
correct.
That's where I was accentuating. It's one-way communication.
It should be duty of the officer also. If he doesn't agree with you during assessment, when you are talking to him or her, then he or she should say, we want this further information.
That's where we use, ki sir, this is what I have explained. Do you have any further question on this? So we play a little smart, but generally आधे घंटे में वो क्या आपकी बात सुन पाएंगे?
आप जब assessment करा रहे हो faceless में, you do not know the officer, officer knows you. So he is asking you a set of questions. He is not giving you a so-cause notice, no, as of now. He is asking questions which you are responding. So there is no question of disagreement, agreement. That his mind will only be revealed in so-cause notice. That time you would know what he has understood your details or not. If he doesn't understand, he will issue a so-cause. You get an opportunity to respond to that so-cause. You respond to that so-cause. If you think that so-cause is illegal, blatant, आप writ petition file कीजिए दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट में. वो तो आपको evaluate करना है ना वहाँ पर.
I agree with you, but these are all expensive affairs, going to writ petition and the things like that.
नहीं कुछ नहीं कोई पैसे नहीं लगते उसमें.
No.
मैं आपको वकील मिला दूँगा जो अच्छा दिल रखते हैं.
Sir, let's come to the topic, sir.
It's not the only money part. It is the you have to prepare so when your staff is busy in this thing. Go the rate, the higher advocate, go there. My point was that in the faceless assessment, the officer should also come out that this is you are saying. I don't agree with you. You can substantiate this
आपके
thing.
पास जो ब्रह्मास्त्र है वो VC है. आपके पास लास्ट ऑप्शन VC का है. अगर आप वो इस्तेमाल करके कुछ कर सकते हो तो ट्राई. वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस आप असेसिंग ऑफिसर की शक्ल देख सकते हो.
No, I'm talking about the.
I think, sir, इसका देखिए मतलब Chandan would not be able to do anything on it.
No, I'm not saying that he should. What I'm saying is our system should be improved on the faceless.
Yes.
assessment.
We agree with you.
The
Government system.
the officer should also come out that this is not correct what you're saying. He
Yes.
should come out during the, the assessment procedure.
Sir, we agree.
पहले भी ऑर्डर शीट के ज़माने में वैसा नहीं होता था जब
Chandan, let's move on. Now, under CIT appeal, lot of cases are pending.
Yes.
So, sometimes the question come whether we should go to DRP or CIT, given the fact one is eligible to file an application before the DRP. So, my question to Pushpender ji, ki if let's say you have a option to go before a DRP, or you have an option to take a route of CIT appeal, what is your take? How you evaluate whether we should take a DRP route to the tribunal or we should take CIT appeal route to the tribunal? Your take.
So, generally, when it was an option that DRP will not be further questioned by the department, like you will get additional time because DRP used to get you additional time, which and you have a TP matter generally in my past experience. Recently, though, we don't have any motivation for going to choice between DRP and CIT because both are now appealable. So in past, we had a motivation that better go to DRP, buy some additional time. But now, I mean, I'm indifferent as far as I'm concerned.
So, Chandan, what is your, if you can suggest anything on it?
डीआरपी में तो पहली बात वो जाएगा जिसके पास ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग है
हाँ,
अगर ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग नहीं है तो डीआरपी आउट हो गया तो
अगर आप एलिजिबल हो, एलिजिबल दो एसएससी हैं सर, या तो आपका टीपी का एडिशन हुआ हो या आप नॉन रेजिडेंट हो, देन यू कैन गो टू डीआरपी.
अगर आप डीआरपी तो डीआरपी पर आदमी कब जाता है व्हेन यू आर वेरी श्योर यू आर शार्प दैट आप एक हायर अथॉरिटी असेसमेंट लेवल पे ही एंड यू हैव गॉट फुल कंट्रोल ऑफ फैक्ट्स. असेसिंग ऑफिसर ने बहुत ही गंदा ऑर्डर पास किया हुआ है. ही हैज इग्नोर्ड योर एवरीथिंग. ही हैज मेड अ सब्जेक्टिव डिस्क्रिशनरी अ बैड ऑर्डर व्हिच इज कॉल्ड इलीगल. आपको ये समझ में आ गई है इलीगल है और आपके पास वेरविदल है. क्या आप सीआईटी साहब को छोटे में बड़े सुंदर तरीके से समझा सकते हो? अगर वो एबिलिटी आप में आ गई है, डीआरपी का जरूर रास्ता खटखटाना जरूरी है इसमें, क्योंकि वहाँ पर आप एक कॉन्शाइंस हिट कर रहे हो सीआईटी अपील की. एज डिफरेंस कितना है? असेसिंग ऑफिसर की लगभग एज होती है 30-32, सीआईटी साहब की एज क्या 50 साल, तो 20 साल का एक्सपीरियंस ज़्यादा हो. पर अगर आप अपनी बात छोटे में कह सकते हो उसको, डीआरपी इज़ अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टूल, तो इसका मतलब क्या होगा? डीआरपी को कैसे एक्सेस करना है वो आपको पता होना चाहिए. अगर उसका नहीं पता, आप खाली जाकर एक रूटीन पीरियड डाल रहे हो, कुछ डाल दिया, मोटा पेपर कर दिया, देन यू गॉन, डीआरपी से कोई रिलीफ नहीं मिलने वाली. तो ये तो आपको डिसाइड करना है आप क्या करना चाहते हो.
So this is how you decide actually.
This is how
कि whether we have a precise point to make or not, or we have a general point to
Yeah,
make.
if I can shoot him in 5 minutes, so I say DRP में जब जाऊँगा मैं खाली 5 मिनट से ज़्यादा नहीं लूँगा उसको समझाने के लिए. If I got that ability, I'll knock the door of DRP. Otherwise, CIT appeal is the best route.
Gaurav, what is your take on it?
I think very important to understand what you want to do. If it's a large tax matter, my money is going to get stuck with tax office. Your tax strategy has to be save cash flow, solve the problem fast. Today our clients don't want to wait 10 years to find an answer to the tax litigation. So in a large tax matter, I would prefer to go to DRP. 2 reasons. I get one more opportunity before the final demand is there. 9 months there is no demand, there is no cash outflow. There is no mandatory 20% payment I have to make if I have to choose CIT appeal route. In 9 months I am before the tribunal. And thankfully the way our tribunals work, very, very rich in experience, past orders, you get quick relief. So my preference would be, if you're eligible, put your facts before DRP, file your submissions, file your facts, get ready for tribunal, save your money, reach tribunal, represent your matter, get a good stay order, and kill the matter. So that would be my strategy.
अगर नहीं है सर, वही मैं कह रहा था, अगर ऑप्शन है
सर फिर तो ऑप्शन नहीं है ना.
फिर option ही नहीं है.
टीपी का इशू है और इंटरनेशनल टैक्स मैटर है. I as a tax professional prefer DRP route, especially because 3 members are there. They will listen to you. You put all your facts. In 9 months you should reach before the tribunal. Yes.
Okay, so now let's discuss something about reassessment. So we all know that a lot of notices have been issued under 148, 148A, and you must have the prior experience also of the reassessment. So, what is your take on Pushpinder? First of all, whether you have seen kind of reassessment under your any of the organization, and if yes, then how the officers proceed and what kind of, one can take care in the industry.
No, so I have seen multiple, not one, multiple. In fact, it is a season of 148 issue notices, etc. People can connect with it. वो फटाफट issue करे जा रहे हैं. And again, I think then in such situations we have to always look for the reason or the basis for which this particular move is, initiated. We have to connect with the officer also to find out the reasoning. Generally, it happens that they get some information or intelligence, and then only they issue notices. I have seen 2 cases in past. In those 2 cases also, one of the case was under 153C, which was not direct 148. But some assessee got searched. He had some statements and other things, which made AO to believe that the other party should also be kind of examined under 153C, and they issue 153C, and then if satisfied, they'll ask you to file return, revise return, etc., and then again 148 kicks in. My personal experience in all these cases is that we have to first check the facts, because we are very nearer to the facts. Not the consultant, not the anybody else, but we. We means the industry person. If it is for my company, I am the person. If I do not know exactly, I'll get into the touch with accounts guy, controller, and so on. Once I am clear with the facts that this transaction is legal, there is no hanky-panky, then nothing worry. Same return revise karo, file the response, seek the reason, and you will be through. That's my.
चंदन भाई, इज इट पॉसिबल, क्वेश्चन में थोड़ा चेंज कर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि आप फैक्ट्स के पास होते हैं, फैक्ट्स से पहले भी होते हैं, फैक्ट्स के बाद भी आप होते हैं, समय है ना इंडस्ट्री में जो लोग हैं. तो यू हैव अ टूल ऑफ प्लानिंग ऑल्सो, देन यू हैव अ डॉक्यूमेंटेशन ऑल्सो. तो जब कभी कभार नोटिस आता है तो ऐसा लगता है यार क्यों आ गया, हम तो सही थे, वी हैव डन एवरीथिंग गुड, टैक्स ऑडिट भी सही फाइल हो गया, रिटर्न भी सही फाइल हो गई, फिर रीअसेसमेंट का फिर नोटिस आ गया. तो कोई ऐसा मैकेनिज्म आप अडॉप्ट करने की कोशिश करते हैं जो आपको लगता है आपको सेफगार्ड कर लेगा, बट इंडीड नहीं कर पाता? थोड़ा ट्रिकी गूगली है ये.
इसमें अगर आप 148 देखें, अभी इस बजट ने जो सबसे पहले किया है 10 साल को 5 साल 3 महीने कर दिया. फाइनेंशियल ईयर 16-17 में हिंदुस्तान में डीमोनेटाइजेशन हुआ था, फाइनेंशियल ईयर 16-17. तो अब उसको नोटिस नहीं आएगा, जिनको नोटिस नहीं आया दे आर सेफ, तो वो बच गए. तो आप 148 का नोटिस क्या है, क्या जो असेसिंग ऑफिसर है उसका तंत्र यंत्र जो भी है उसको समझ में आया कोई एसएससी ने टैक्स को एस्केप किया. दैट्स द प्राइमरी थिंग जो असेसिंग ऑफिसर के दिमाग में चल रहा है. इस बंदे का असेसमेंट हो सकता हुआ हो, नहीं भी हुआ हो, दैट्स नॉट अ क्वेश्चन, बट इसने टैक्स दिया नहीं दिया उसको पता नहीं है, एंड ही इज अंडर सम सॉर्ट ऑफ सस्पिशन दैट दिस गाय हैज नॉट गिवन अ टैक्स. नाउ ही सेंड्स योर नोटिस, यू रिसीव अ नोटिस, आपको पता है आपने टैक्स दिया कि नहीं दिया, तो आप क्या करोगे? सबसे पहले आपका नी जक रिएक्शन क्या होगा? भाई इसको सबसे पहले रिस्पॉन्स दे, मैंने टैक्स दे दिया, मैं ईमानदार हूँ, मैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली टैक्स देता हूँ, मैं इस देश का सच्चा नागरिक हूँ, टैक्स देने में विश्वास रखता हूँ. आप असेसिंग ऑफिसर को वहाँ खत्म कर दो. पर असेसिंग ऑफिसर क्या करता है? उसको मानता नहीं है. उसमें क्या करता है वो 148 को कन्वर्ट करना चाहता है फुल असेसमेंट में, डी नोवो फुल ताकत देना चाहता है उसमें. क्वेश्चन है वेदर दिस एक्शन इज लीगल और नॉट. अभी मैंने आने के पहले मैंने दिल्ली हाईकोर्ट एक जजमेंट पढ़ा, उसमें ये बोला जज साहब ने, क्या ये एक्शन असेसिंग ऑफिसर का फेयर नहीं है. इफ द असेसिंग ऑफिसर फर्स्ट लेग में ही प्रूव नहीं कर सकता, क्या वो, क्योंकि प्राइमरी रीजन वो था असेसमेंट खोलने का, वही प्रूव नहीं हुआ कि आप टैक्स उसने चोरी की नहीं की, तो तुम फुल असेसमेंट कैसे खोल दोगे? द असेसमेंट गॉट कॉस्ट बाय हाई कोर्ट. सो इट्स अ वेरी टेक्निकल थिंग, बट वन हैज टू बी रियली सेफगार्डेड आई वुड से, क्योंकि रीअसेसमेंट की नोटिस एक ऐसी नोटिस है जो 3, 4 साल 5 साल तक आ सकती है, तो इसका टाइम पीरियड है. 5वें साल में आ गई, आपके पास डिटेल नहीं है, आप घूम रहे हो, मैं क्या करूं? सो दैट इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी फॉर अ स्मॉल टैक्स पेयर्स. 148 बहुत डिफिकल्ट चीज़ है, खासकर रियल एस्टेट ट्रांजेक्शन जब आप करते हो, किसी के नाम में ले लिया, पैसे उसने नहीं दिया, कुछ भी है, देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी, क्योंकि रजिस्ट्रार इन्फॉर्मेशन भेज सकता है. सो वन हैज टू बी रियली अलर्ट ऑन दिस. देयर इज एन इंक्रीज मैकेनिज्म थ्रू DCS, अब SFT है, स्पेसिफाइड फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शन, गवर्नमेंट यहाँ से डाटा काफ़ी कलेक्ट कर रही है। तो 148 का मैकेनिज्म क्या है? देयर इज अ गवर्नमेंट के पास एक डाटाबेस है, उस डाटाबेस में अगर वो कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन चली गई तो असेसिंग ऑफिस इज बाउंड टू डू 148, उसके पास कोई चारा नहीं है। तो हम ये प्रे करते हैं कि उस डाटाबेस में इंफॉर्मेशन आ जाए सबके लिए। चली गई, नोटिस आ गई, तो यू बी प्रिपेयर्ड कि मैं कैसे इसको डील करूंगा। आई विल ट्राई टू किल इट फैक्चुअली, पर असेसिंग ऑफिसर आप कह रहे हो इज अ नोटोरियस पर्सन, मेरी बात नहीं सुनता। देन यू विल एग्जामिन लीगल वेज, रिट पिटिशन करूं, कमिश्नर को जाकर बोलूं, कुछ तो करोगे ना। नहीं तो वो हैरेसमेंट की उसकी जो मीटर है वो ज़्यादा बढ़ जाएगी। और वो अगर फुल फ्लेज असेसमेंट में कन्वर्ट हो जाती है, देन इट्स मोर डिफिकल्ट, बिकॉज डी नोवो 143(3) दोबारा कर सकता है वो, विच विल नॉट लाइक टू इंटर इनटू।
But practically, see, being a tax professional, I see a lot of cases now where 148A show cause is given. And if you're able to explain to the officer that this transaction is tax or non-taxable, I have seen them dropping the cases also. See, maybe because I handle multiple cases, I have better visibility on what the tax officers are doing across India. I have seen many, many cases now where if you've given facts, details, documents, and the officer has come to conclusion that this will not lead to taxation of income in the proceeding, they are not expanding the scope of that notice, they are dropping that proceeding.
No, I agree.
You have been able to tell him factually that the issue he has picked up is not relevant, it's not going to lead to additional taxation of income. So therefore, those cases can be many also. That depends on the issue the officer has picked.
That will be depending on how prepared you are, how
Yes, yes.
you are able to
Yes, yes.
convince him that his stand is wrong.
Yes, sir. So that is the obligation. The law puts an obligation on the tax officer and on you also.
Just to add to what Gaurav mentioned, I think this is again a flip side of it. कई बार क्वेश्चंस वो लोग करते हैं और उनको उसका आंसर नहीं पता होता, और हम देखते हैं वो एक्चुअली टेक्निकली है, सिर्फ एक्सप्लेनेशन है। फॉर एग्जांपल ग्रेचुटी बिलो द लाइन एडजस्टमेंट हमने नहीं करी, राइट, और हमने नेट पीबीटी से शुरू करा है। अगर हमने नेट प्रॉफिट से शुरू करा होता, बिलो द लाइन आइटम को ऐड करके फिर लेस कर रहे होते, रिजल्ट सेम ही होता। बट इतनी छोटी सी चीज़ को भी उनको अगर समझा दें हम, तो दे विल ड्रॉप इट। बट सू मोटो अगर उनको कोई इंटेलिजेंस आई है और उनको जब तक हम बताएंगे नहीं, हम का मतलब वी कैन डायरेक्टली एज एन इंडस्ट्री, अदरवाइज CF हम कैन प्ले अ वेरी पिविटल रोल। जाके उसको समझाएं, देन दे एग्री ऑल्सो, ठीक है टेक्निकल था, सिस्टम ने थ्रो कर दिया, आप बिलो द लाइन से अगर शुरू करते तो ऐड करते, ऊपर से पीबीटी से चल रहे हैं, पूरा टैक्स ऑफर करा है। आई एम गिविंग अ प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल, इस वजह से भी नोटिस आ गया था जो बाद में इवेंचुअली ड्रॉप हुआ। तो ऐसे भी केसेस होते हैं।
थैंक यू। यस सर।
ये तो झगड़ा है।
Assessment is done in the 143(3), then the 148 should not have been there. You know,
Sir,
that is,
Sir, again talking on behalf of the government, reassessment cannot have not offered this income in the return and as assessment. Especially in case of assessment होने के बाद, change of opinion के base पे reassessment नहीं हो सकता।
I agree with you, but the point is the officer has got some information which he puts before you, and where scrutiny assessment was done in the earlier year, for the same assessment year, for 5-6 years back. Now, again, 148 has been opened. The facts which are stated in the notice for the reassessment are, he is saying, आपने इनसे सेल करी है, वो सेल नहीं है, परचेज करी हुई है। When basic information is written wrong in the notice, you know, for reassessment, then
Sir, it is very good for you if you bring those facts in the response to the show cause notice, because if you do that, you can win in the writ immediately. You don't have to participate in the proceeding if it is so clear.
Yeah, the thing is, scrutiny assessment एक बार हो गई तो should not come in 148.
सर, बट आप देखिए ना हमारे देश में कितने टैक्स पेयर्स हैं। पहले तो सरकार सेल्फ असेसमेंट करती है, आपसे कुछ पूछती नहीं, आपने जो पे किया मान लेती है आप ठीक किया। फिर स्क्रूटनी भी सिलेक्टेड में करती है, फिर स्क्रूटनी होने के बाद भी अगर कोई एविडेंस आता है, हाउ कैन, सर आप बताइए, आप अगर गवर्नमेंट सिस्टम सेट करें, हाउ कैन ए ऑफिसर सिट ऑन इंफॉर्मेशन which indicates a person is not paying what is due to government?
I agree, reassessment should be done only when there is a concrete evidence that the tax has been evaded by the person.
Sir, that safeguard is there in the language. Our courts are very, very generous. Our courts have said, change of opinion, cannot do reassessment. If the issue you found out is not the reason of tax evasion, whatever you did thereafter should be quashed. If your notice is bad in law, quashed. Approval was not taken properly. Sir, very interestingly, if you remember, the notices in 148, how they come. I want to assess you, reassess you. Only on this particular word, the court has said, officer should have made his mind. By this notice, he is doing assessment or reassessment. He failed to make up his mind. It is non-application of mind. I quash the proceedings. So our courts are very generous.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So like every good thing comes to an end. So as our seminar for the day, thanks to all of you for being here. Let's have a big round of applause.